right, I'm going to open with a big.
And ladies.
I'm going to open with a big picture question.
Uh-oh.
Is this the deepest, most talented team you've ever coached?
Well, I hope so. I'm not one of those guys who puts a whole lot in summer workouts. I got a lot of great friends out here. You know, we have great high school basketball in California. So, you know, they have all these great big-time tournaments and all that type of stuff. And, you know, obviously I talk to these guys all the time. And I always tell them, you know, summer don't matter. Like, it just doesn't matter.
Beating James Harden over there.
Yeah. Or like, you know, Tracy and I might have had a small wager on a game that happened in the summer. And then the season happened and I was right. The team I liked ended up winning the state. My team won the state. They won the state, the team, but they lost that game in the summer. But they won 2 in a row.
Okay.
But yeah. But hey, I lost. You know, I thank God I live by wines of the world. They got everything. But anyway, yeah, so I may have had these guys in the summer. I think, you know, we'll see. But I mean, on paper, I know what you're saying. You got a lot of veteran players. You know, people quote to me their scoring, and you got all these guys that average double figures or whatever. I don't look at that much as, you know, I get game experience at the college level. You know, and obviously on the perimeter, when you throw especially Trent into that with all the other guys, you got, you know, some depth, which is exciting. Because in my heart of hearts, you know, my DNA, I you know, liking to dictate the tempo of the game with my defense. I've always been that way. But it's just, you know, you gotta be smart. It's hard to do that when you gotta play Tiger 38 minutes. Dylan last year, 38 minutes. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
So you're talking about summer not meaning that much. Is it a little different this year when you bring in so many transfers and they're all new?
Well, I meant results. You know, people
Yeah.
play games.
Sure.
You know, the high schools, they play games in the summer.
Sure.
And they play tournaments. And to my point, you know, those results can be misleading. But anyway, in all seriousness, no, the summer's important for nowadays. I mean, you know, in the new era here. Of course, we could be in a different era in 2 years. You don't know what the rules will be. But right now, in this era, you're going to have so many new players theoretically every year that you have to spend time together in the summer. You know, so our guys have had beach days, Dodger nights, dinner nights. They've had all that stuff. You know, that's just as important as just getting to know each other. For me, it's really summer is 2 things. Emphasize what our program is mostly about, what we stand for, and, you know, create some habits. And then also for me, evaluating the new players. So, you know, trying to figure out, I'm not a guy that's like, we're just running the same offense every year. You know, you figure out, okay, what's going to be the best way for us to, you know, really be an effective offensive team, and a team that's hard to defend. And then, you know, and just learning the guys individually. You know, who do I need to get to talk more? You know, like whether it's personality stuff or their game. You know, you got to basically you're on speed dating.
Does it make it any easier just knowing you have so many experienced players, though, as opposed to trying to get
Well,
through to a
slept
bunch
better.
of freshmen?
That's what you're getting at.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
slept better with that. Yeah. Just because I just know, you know, how much it matters. You know, older. I redshirt. I just saw my guy Sean Kilpatrick's like my little brother. I mean, redshirted the guy. He scored over 2,100 points. You know, he's my best player ever at Cincinnati, and you know, Jaime was here. They're a 4-year guy, 5-year guy. I mean, you know, they just tend to. When you have a veteran player, the odds of him being consistent. So therefore, you know what he's going to get. You can count on him every night. You know, young guys are inconsistent. They just are. Even talented ones. You know, just tell me how many young players impacted the NBA playoffs. It's going to take you a while to answer that one. And I'm not even talking about, you know, there's a few that played. I can tell you who they are. Like Derek Lively was with the Mavericks, but like, how many guys impacted the NBA playoffs?
Two stylistic questions for you. On offense, do you anticipate going 4 in, 1 out? I mean,
Well, I think
4
much
out,
more.
1 in.
Yeah. I mean, look, and 5 out at times if we were playing. You know, we got lineups. We got lineups can play small. I think that the big thing about being able to have the resources and the power to kind of put a team together that you want to put together, you got to try to put a team together that can dance to every dance. You know, they can win a grinder, they can defend a big team, but can also defend a team that really shoots it. And then on offense, that you get balance and versatility on the offensive end. Obviously, we could play small, and you know, like Eric, you know, he's got basically a wing guy, but I mean, he played a lot of 5 at Oklahoma State. Tyler Bilodeau is not a 5, but you know, we could play that way and be 5 out if we needed to.
What about defensively, full court press? Do you think that's going to be a big part of the arsenal?
Well, I would say full court pressure. I think, you know, to give you football terms, that if because I've done it in the past, if you're just a one-trick full court press, the other team knows what to prepare for, and just you can't blitz the same way every time, right? The best defensive guys disguise their blitzes. Talking Tracy's language, not a football guy. You know, you got to disguise your blitzes and your coverages, and especially if you're an aggressive team, right? So, but full court pressure, and like pressure to me, you don't always have to trap, but we have obviously we have a multitude of guards on paper. If we can count on them all, which would be great, it's play as hard as you can. Do not conserve energy. Get a rest. Next guy, play as hard as you can. You know, so it's not. But you can't. You know, if you're playing against good teams and good coaches, you just can't run around trapping. It's not an AAU game. You know, there's time. You got to try to disguise things and, you know, and give people different looks, keep them off balance. So, but we start practicing that. I don't know what you asked the guys, but we worked on it this summer.
An issue last year was 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
What have you seen from?
I would say an issue last year was getting the ball in the basket from anywhere.
Yeah.
If you go to our last game, I mean, you know, I think we missed 7 2-footers against Oregon in the Pac-12 tournament. And they actually went on and won it and got it big. So I would say from really getting the ball in the basket. But we have obviously, you know, a whole new team this year pretty much. So, you know, Sky, you know, obviously Sky, Trent, Dom, Kobe, like them guys can all shoot. You know, Free can really shoot the ball. I mean, you know, Tyler can really shoot the ball. So you got a lot of, and I might have missed somebody. We got so many new guys, you guys are going to have to remind me.
Were there certain traits you were looking in when you were going to those transfers?
Oh yeah, guys. Look, I have I'm not looking to give away our whole formula, but we definitely have. I have a formula of the kind of like where I like the portal. If you have the money to get guys in the portal, you know, I'm an honest guy. So with it, I'll just say what we don't look for. The guys that just want to get paid, and I'm all for that. Because I'd be first in line for a raise if they're giving them out. But I think you got to try to get some guys that actually are going to run to a place where there's high expectations of winning, and they actually have the humility and self-awareness to know they need to get better to get to where they want to go. You know, that we try to attract those kind of guys and try to repel guys. This isn't the place where you like get your money and, you know, you're going to cause problems and not give effort. I'm going to stand there and, you know, do that. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So,
Sky mentioned Trent's defense, you know, as a big factor in his game. Just what have you seen from him on that side of the ball?
yeah, I mean, Trent. Well, yeah, we'll see. It's early. They play all the time against each other. I would say Trent's advantage defensively is for a guard is his size. You know, could he ever get to a point where he's in Kobe Johnson's class? We'll see. he's in a whole different class. Kobe Johnson's in a whole different class. I mean, he's with Jalen Clark, the best two defenders I've ever been around on the perimeter. But Trent has great length.
As far as the healthier roster, obviously Sebastian was dealing with the toe last year. How's he doing? And I think I saw a die. It might have been around the summer.
Yeah, Dye's probably about a week or so away. He'll start doing stuff today. He had a minor foot thing. Probably been good for him because we just focused on putting muscle on him for the last 6 weeks. Where, with a guy like him, it's hard to put muscle on him when he's practicing. He's burning so many calories. So because he's been out of practice with the minor foot thing, he hasn't burned the calories doing that. So Dave's been able to try to really bulk him up. So you'll see he looks like a different guy.
And then Sebastian, his toe, everything's clear there.
Yeah, it's been knock on wood in his past.
You got a lot of guys, a lot of talent. You get the sense that they're all bought in. I mean, you're gonna have talent guys that aren't gonna play a ton of minutes.
Yeah, I'll give you know how I am with everything, man. I just tell it like it is. It's not like I didn't put a gun to anybody's head. Now obviously you offer guys money, but they could have went other places, and guys that returned could have left. So I mean, it's UCLA. We're getting as many good players as we can because the standard here is to try to hang the 12th banner. I can't, nobody, like around here, people say, when's the question coming out the excitement of the Big Ten? Well, we could win the Big Ten regular season championship, and our fans are not going to care. I mean, they might be happy, but they're really not going to care. When you're here, it's about the NCAA tournament, banners, and that type of thing. So, it wasn't like everybody wasn't told, like, hey, this is what it's got to be. We're all about improving you and getting you where you want to go. But here, it's about UCLA basketball. Best tradition in college basketball. So, I don't really want to hear about any complaints and all that stuff all year, because you signed up for it. You could have left, or you didn't have to come. So, I'm sure you had maybe a better offer or some more money or something somewhere else.
But do you get the sense from watching these guys that they're
Well, we try to
collectively-
recruit them in
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
Like, get guys that understand all that, and guys that understand that Russell Westbrook hardly played as a freshman and was the 4th pick in the draft as a sophomore. Like, that's stuff that happens here. I mean, that's UCLA. That's the power of the 4 letters. So they've all been told that. Now, but Ben, look, the reality is when the games start, everybody's going to have great energy, first week of practice. There's no stat sheet. Everybody's going to say that. Everybody loves their team. Then there's going to become a stat sheet. And even the teams that are winning, all these kids got agents, and they're going to start calling around. I mean, that's just going to be part. It was always part of it. Now it's crazy. It's crazy. So, but we try to be honest with everybody up front. So, I would say though that we could have 7 or 8 different leading scorers in a game.
Yeah,
throughout the season.
Yeah.
Bringing in so many new guys, how key in transitioning them to your style?
Yeah.
How key was Lazar Stefanovic so far this summer? Have you seen from him?
Yeah, he and I had a meeting yesterday. And he's such a mature guy, and he understands. Like look, and as soon as we get Kobe Johnson, he texts me, "That's a good coach. That's a great kid for us." How many guys would do that? Most guys would have called compliance and gotten deported. But he wants to win and play in the NCAA. It's why he came here. I mean, he actually never even mentioned NIL. That's a fact. That's why we got him, because we couldn't get guys who were asking for money last year. So so yesterday his thing was, Coach, what can I do to help the team? Like, what's something I can really do? And I said, well, you got to act like you've been here 4 years. I got a little problem. Like, the days of those kind of guys are maybe, it'd be nice to have some guys like that. I mean, we maybe got some, Dylan's in his 3rd, but Dylan's still not the most vocal guy. Where Lazar was really the only guy in a comfort zone as a veteran player last year that helped us scrap the, being 5th place in the Pac-12. Just like I told him, we need his voice. I mean, obviously his shooting and his putting the ball in the basket, but just from day one, you can't, because he and I talked about how hard it's gonna be for Kobe, even though he's a senior. It's just, he told me, he's like, human nature is you feel like an outsider. Like, I asked him last year, like, from day one, you gotta act like you've been here, but it's like, Coach, it's tough. I don't really know these guys that well, and I haven't been here. So as I'm telling, like, our older transfer guys, Will, Tyler, Dom, Kobe, Sky, like, but they're, it's the first time they got the jersey on. So it's hard to walk around like this is how we do things when they haven't been here. So he's the guy with that. I've already told all those guys, like, in this era, guys, that's all out the window. Like, it's a whole different game now. You gotta have like a pro mentality. You come in as a veteran player. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers didn't walk into the Jets, acting like he didn't, he shouldn't be a leader. But it's easier. The guy's 50 years old.
What are the chances now you get someone like Jaime Jaquez, who comes in as a freshman, stays 4 years? Right now, I know it could change in 6
Well, he may
months.
be on our team. I mean, Brandon Williams is out there.
And then going back to Trent, what was
Mhm.
your reaction when you saw he was decommitting and you still had the ability to go get him?
Oh, to go get him?
Yeah.
Then my immediate reaction was, we gotta get him. I called my friend Dave Rabibo and was like, hey, tell Trev we want him. I know this just came out, his phone's probably blowing up. See when he wants to talk, so, hopefully he has an interest. I want to, get with him and his parents as soon as possible. And part of that is, I saw 5 Harvard Westlake high school games last year. So, I realized all year, like, well, I wish we signed this guy.
All right.
Good?
Thank you.
Gotta go to
Thank you.
practice. All right, guys.